What's going on, everyone? Today, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions and preview of a new up-and-coming indie title called Deathbound, developed by Trailforge Studio. I was provided this code through Vicarious PR and wanted to thank them so much for giving me the opportunity to provide coverage for this game. Deathbound is a new entry into the Souls-like genre. It has everything you would expect from an entry within this genre, but it adds its own unique twist on the formula. So, let's get into it. The story of Deathbound is described as a quarrel between two sisters, the goddess of life and the goddess of death, where the goddess of life deceived her sister and took her power to create an immortal race called the First Men. The goddess of death would not settle for this deception and began to overwhelm her sister's creation, thus making the First Men give up their immortality and causing their civilization to crumble. This then gave rise to a new civilization centuries later, with the desire to deceive death once again. When I started the demo, I was dropped into an area with technological monoliths surrounding me. A modern damaged road lay before me with streetlights to accompany it, what looked like war tents and banners scattered throughout, and modern skyscrapers off in the distance. It appeared as though a handful of dimensions had been slammed together, and this is what remained. I really enjoyed the look and feel of this world. We do not, however, get to see any other areas, so I'm hoping in the final release there will be more varied environments so as to avoid everything looking the same. Now let's talk about the main focus of this demo, which is the gameplay. The gameplay is similar to what you would find in From Software's Souls games, but in this demo, instead of having one character that you would level up and spec to fit your preferred playstyle, you get access to 5 characters, each one with their own specific playstyle. You are given the ability to switch between a max of 4 characters at any given time, and it looks like they will be adding at least 2 new characters when the full game releases. You have the stamina bar that you would come to expect from a game within this genre. It, however, functions differently from any other game within the genre that I've seen. Instead of your health and stamina being completely separate from each other, your health is what determines the amount of stamina you have available to you at any given time. If you have max health, you're able to use your full stamina bar, but as you take damage, your stamina will fall along with your health and make the already tough encounters more challenging. The way leveling up works is essentially what you would expect from this type of game, but instead of leveling up specific stats on each of your characters, you have access to what looks more like a skill tree that connects all of your characters together. Each character has their own sets of upgrades specific to them, but you also have nodes that apply bonuses to all of your characters. And this is done at this game's version of bonfires, which I'll be referring to as monoliths throughout this video. You are also able to do a number of other things like upgrading items, using memory points to unlock what are called essence talents that further buff the capabilities of your party members, and lastly, bind essences to your party members that connect them to give your party different kinds of buffs. Another important aspect of the gameplay to talk about is how you'll go about healing your characters. It does function slightly differently. You do have items that heal your characters the way you would expect, but there's another item that they give you called an essence enhancer that will take life from your other party members to heal the one you're currently using. It is an interesting addition and gives you more options in order to stay in the fight longer. Even though you have 4 party members that you can switch to at any time, if the one you were using is killed, then you will be sent back to the last monolith you activated. So ensuring to switch to another character before one is killed will be imperative to surviving as long as you can in encounters. I also wanted to talk about how you would go about getting new party members on your team. The first new member I found was a fallen crusader, and when I approached him, I was given the prompt to absorb him. And once I hit the prompt, I was thrown into a dreamlike sequence where I could test out his abilities as well as learn his story. After this sequence, he became part of my party and I was able to use him with my other members. However, when I found the spear-wielding warrior, when I did the same prompt with that character, I wasn't thrown into any dreamlike sequence and she was just a part of my party. I'm not sure if that was cut out for the demo's sake or if only certain characters are given extra story moment. You can also expect different aspects of the genre to still be included, whether that's creating shortcuts to get to different areas easier, completing quests for NPCs, or just for the simple experience of dying and dying and dying and dying and dying and dying over and over again. I think this game has a lot of potential to be something great, but there are some issues I did come across. Those being, the AI can be quite clunky at times, as well as overly aggressive, as they will follow you to the ends of the earth just to kill you. There are instances where button prompts will overlap, thus causing you to interact with the wrong object. I also feel the monoliths are too spread out, thus creating a dry spell, and if you die, making you repeat long sections over and over again. So in conclusion, this Souls-like has a lot of potential, and has a lot of unique ideas that are thrown into the familiar formula. It does have its issues, but I think it will turn out to be a solid take on the genre. At this time, it unfortunately does not have a concrete release date, but is projected to release within 2024, and will be a part of Steam's Next Fest. So if you're looking for your next Souls-like, I do recommend keeping your eye on this one, and checking it out when it releases. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you again to Vicarious PR for providing me a code to be able to preview this game. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell to be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.